men's college rugby is a little bit of an odd one this year. Of course, teams are just looking around for games. You know, they're playing teams that are calling themselves. There's one. What is it? The Lincoln Under-23 team. That's actually Nebraska, right? Something like that. Florida has an entire Under-23 league that is essentially collegiate teams, not really just one college team, but they could be. You know, we're finding teams like Cal and St. Mary's. Poof, just started to play last weekend. And these were games that we weren't even sure Thursday afternoon if they were really going to come off. It's stuff like that. Whether it's, depending on how your COVID testing is going or what your protocols are, or whether at the whims of the administration. Let's talk about how we're going to crown a national champion. Well, we're not going to crown a national champion, but we could conceivably talk about a postseason. And that word has been bandied about in D1A circles, things like that. I think it's pretty clear that Lindenwood would jump at the chance to play some kind of championship game. Life University, I don't know if they would jump at the chance, but they'd be right there in the conversation. They split their games with Lindenwood after all, right? But who would they play? Well, there are all kinds of discussions about how much rugby, say, Arizona can play. They've got a tight window. Can they only play if it's a championship game or something like that? Central Washington, they're done, right? They're officially done, but could they squeeze out one more game? There's been talking. They're trying to work on that. Cal and St. Mary's. Well, we're not really looking past this coming weekend. That's the old cliche about, well, we're just not looking past this weekend. Literally can't do that right now because of the way the COVID restrictions have been. However, it would be great, wouldn't it, to just find a team, whether it's BYU or St. Mary's or Cal or Central Washington or Arizona, a Western team, and have them play maybe two of them, right? And we do a semifinal final with Life and Lindenwood. Not to crown an official champion, but perhaps just tie a little bow on the season. That would be nice to see. I kind of hope it happens, really, personally, but it's going to be difficult. And of course, the funny thing about all of this is it's not a done deal for Lindenwood, just because they've been playing great and they've been beating teams. We just saw a very good Central Washington team go and lose to what was supposedly a rusty and undercooked St. Mary's team. And we saw BYU played a couple of games, go in to play Cal and lose, albeit relatively close. Cal kicked their conversions a little bit more successfully. Wouldn't have seemed that close, but they did lose to Cal, and Cal said they weren't really ready. They like to ease into the season. Maybe that's a commentary on how much coaches talk about how they need warm-ups and maybe they don't. I don't know. But I would say this, that if we have a championship game, let me rephrase that. If we have some kind of end-of-season challenge game, it will be really fun to watch. It will be nice to see us sort of put a circle around and say this was the best team in the country for sure. And I wouldn't guarantee a win for anybody who is in that game. Thanks, everybody, for how you support Goff Rugby Report. If you can go to goffrugbyreport.com/support-GRR, you can support what we're doing. And I mentioned it earlier, but I want to mention it again. Our traffic is up. Our traffic is way up. And guess what that means? We actually have to pay more for our hosting services because our stress on the hosting is that much higher. We're really happy about how many people are reading our stuff and consuming stuff we do on Vimeo and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, things like that. That's great, but we need your help.